le league yadlalwa ke i-first round kuphela kwasesekiwa ema-holidayini abo-December yase seyiyema kuzeke bathi okhona ukuthi badlali babuyeke bathi khona ukuthi lungiselela for i-second round i-association bese seyidecide yayo i-dates bese decide ukuthi isukumise yona i-President Cup kuze labadlali batawuhlala balungele kutathi nakufika nakusukuma yona i-second round bakhanze ba ready besides ke i-league lebeyidlalwa njengoba usho ukuthi balungiselela abafuna hosta emazwe region 5 games madats lengicabanga ukuthi nawubuka labadlali from le season nayiqala last season last year nayiqala first round ngicabanga ukuthi badlala kahle and nale association kudine ngiletimvo mhlambe le improve kudo siyakhumbula ukuthi bekusuka covid because nababuya nje baqala league bekusuka covid bakhona ukuthi balandzele yonke lemigomo ya covid basanitize tonke letinvo leto and bekubhaliswa ke vele buthina ungena lapho ubhalise tonke letinvo leto so ngicabanga ukuthi kubuyela kulombuto wakho nje ukuthi ba ready yini ngitsite ngeke ngiphendule but ngajabula if bangachubeka ngalendlela labasolo bachubeka ngayo emagemini league.
Even in 2022, nothing has changed about Mr. Dlamini. He speaks about the truth. Now, they are taking notes. They're making sure that everything is done in the right way. We're going to listen to Subsiso Patches, the secretary of the association. But, Master, I think for them, we've always talked about the issue of facilities, the issue of, funds and everything. For them, I think it has nothing to do with facilities. As long as you can have a huge hall that has got, the right place. They even have what you call movable darts, where you can just put something on the wall and just move it. But for them, it's all about the funds. Do they maybe need support from stakeholders out in the country to make sure that at least they inject in something before maybe the tournament begins, so that they can just be motivated, just for the teams to make sure. I mean, they do all the best. You can see they are well dressed. The names are, the supporters, the company that are sponsoring them are all over the t-shirts. They are trying their best. What they need is motivation financially.
Most definitely, Fabrice. Nawubuka ukuthi kungalana nje kuma singles number 1 tabathola ina 500 number 2 300 number 3 200 so ngicabanga ukuthi bayidzinga le motivation. Yes, sport is not about the money but again it's about the money because kufika lapha la kudlalelwa khona kudzinga ukuthi bagibele ukhuluma ngetimpahla kudzinga ukuthi bagcoke so ngicabanga ukuthi ma-stakeholders nyalo nje this is the right time, this is the right platform ukuthi bafike bakhangise lokho labakhangisako more especially nakuthi bafuna costa wona ema-region 5 games so ngicabanga ukuthi ema-sponsors asewete ngala kadatha aba-supporter abone because ngeke ngithi mina balingela abantu uthi no ndabalinga nje umnyaka lengi-3 ngibone ukuthi wente kanjani ubone ukuthi le product yakho bayimaketha kanganani. Then after soyabuka ke soya-review ukuthi ingabe vele kuhambe kanjani.
On behalf of the clubs, on behalf of the association, and on behalf of different stakeholders involved in that association in the country, in preparations for the second leg of their local league, also in preparations for the Region 5 at some point later this year, what does the association has to say about the ongoing President's Cup? Here is the Secretary General, Subsiso Patches, in one of our interviews with the team at the facility in Matsapa. Subsiso Patches.
Ngadats namuhla sine tournament President's Cup leyo leta sita ukuthi siqale i-second round yethu so that sitokhona ukuthi lungisa kakhulu since besine break ya festive so nyalo ezisaqala sitheka siqale ngale President's Cup and in the long run sibuke ukuthi itawusita ukuthi competition yethu nyalo nge-second round ibe ngilesetulu kakhulu. Then number 2 in the long term sibuke ukuthi kufuna si-host Region 5 so vele kuyafuna lokuthi kusikhanza ukuthi sezingene lisetulu kakhulu. Sijabula kakhulu badlali bakhombisile ukuthi bese bawulambele kakhulu umdlalo njengoba ubona nje bese baminyana kakhulu naleli zinga ke cha licaleli ngileli pass but seliyakhombisa nyalo ukuthi badlali sebayaluleka kakhulu sebakhona nje kudlala.
Well, beautiful explanation from Subsiso Patches, of course, and as we can see that he was explaining that one of the things that he are doing over the past weekend was trying to ensure that they begin the preparations, and I think you can see the darts board behind him trying to explain and emphasize the importance of the sport in the country. Now, moving on, Netball Master is another sporting code lesingasho ukuthi beba ku pre-season tournament. It's last weekend. They are going to be running for the next 4 weeks. Master, nawubuka nje netball. At some point, I think besikhuluma ukuthi it's another sport lesingasho ukuthi at some point bethule kakhulu. They are now back into the picture. They have a pre-season tournament. I think it's about 5 male teams and 3 female teams. So what do you take from this netball team? I mean, we've had different sponsors. SPS, Swaziland Beauty Society, has been their main sponsor in the past years. We've had these netball teams attending some of the regional tournaments. What can we expect them as they prepare for the new season?
Fabrice again uyakhumbula ukuthi nakufika wona umkhuhlane we-COVID-19 le ma sports inqumba athenzeka lokufaka ikhathi yona i-netball. I-netball ke being a contact sport le nebungoti bekuwanzisa ligciwane le COVID kakhulu. Yamiswa ke Fabrice isikhathi lesitse bebasolo bangaseko active. So kunabo le association yaka netball ibonile ukuthi cha kuze ukuthi kutathi nakusukuma le league le season lensha yaka netball ayisukume phela abadlali sebacishe bakushape kancane kwasese kwentiwa ke yona le tournament ya pre-season lefaka cishe onke lama teams aka netball onke nje cishe onke including kubomake including bobabe so ngicabanga ukuthi nabo yinvo lenhle leyo because vele abadlali bese bahleli isikhathi lesitse uyabona and nale level ke Fabrice nawubuka labadlali lendlela lekudlalwa ngayo uyabona ukuthi badlali bahleli isikhathi lesitse bangadlali i-netball. So ngicabanga ukuthi kungeke size sigathe lokukhulu kanganani le sport. Ngicabanga ukuthi COVID is limited because le sport isaka netball beku sport bokungasho ukuthi siyakhula. Yes, bekakhona ama teams bekasefika asesemasha bekasazama nayo ukuthi abamba leso standard, but labeka vele akhona. Ngicabanga ukuthi le standard bese asibeke etulu kakhulu nyalo ngajabula and ngavele ngibona ukuthi cha kushothi le sport for us sisetulu kakhulu. Unfortunately babe sebaphathenyiswa storm kalubamba over the weekend bangawacethe ama games abo, but awacethela this coming weekend ngemgcibelo Fabrice.
Of course, beautiful information, of course, coming from you, Linda Dlamini. Now, in charge of Competitions Commission under the Netball Association, the Secretary General herself had to emphasize the meaning of this pre-season tournament, the meaning for the fitness of the players through the tournament. Listen to her as she's giving us a total explanation of what the tournament means and how long it's going to last before the league returns.
Lama games esiwaqale namuhla ngema games esithi pre-season tournament lapho sibuka isikhathi lesisihleli because I think we know as a country we are affected with the COVID kakhulu lenda ukuthi sime so nyalo besithi ke badlali abasale batilungiselela ukuthi nasi resume i-league probably by the beginning of April ibe yonke naleyo team ine badlali labakuform. So i-pre-season tournament yethu sinema teams lang 6 kuma females sibe nema teams lang 4 kuma males bese plane ukuthi lama games adlale 4 weekends. However namuhla sithena sadlalisa kwakhanzakala ukuthi isimo selitulu sesasiphikisa sasesiyawamisa. Okay, ema teams they were very excited nasibachela ukuthi siyaqala ukudlala and nanyalo nje kube bekuya ngabo kube bekunema more actually ngabe sesisulile baqhubeka ngoba nalilanga futhi seliphinze livele but ke ngalokuthi siyati ukuthi once wema bese sekuba likhuni but nje we do hope ukuthi as the games progress ema teams atau pick up onke abe form lekahle labanye badlali basenako lo inkinga natemtimba ukuthi bese bahleli kakhulu but nje we are hoping to see ema games are interesting as we proceed with the games. I-league yethu si preparation ukuthi mhlambe ngaqala first week of April.
Those are the plans for the Netball Association that come April this year, the Netball League season will begin. Now, moving on, one of the topical story that I was making headlines earlier on today on different platforms, be it social media or on different official, government, social media is that Somtlo National Stadium now, Master, could be in news in the next 6 weeks. Now, remember, 2019, March, when sports activities were suspended in the country, that was over 2 years ago, Master. Already the stadium was suspended by not to have any international competition. Preparations to renovate the stadium, rehabilitations had started. So we're talking about now almost 2 years later, Master. This is the stage, courtesy of the pictures from the Minister of Sports as we're getting these pictures. But let's talk about maybe this stage. This is the track and field, and this is the turf we're talking about. To you, Master, what are you getting from what we're seeing and what we've been listening? You read a statement from the ministry. What did you get from this, including an area that you will be seated as well as a media person to watch the games? Yeah.
Fabrice, I'm very happy ukuthi Somhlolo finally utawuphela because siyakhumbula ukuthi Somhlolo National Stadium akusiyo nje i-stadium sebhola kuphela. Ukhuluma nge-track and field efakwako lebe sibonile mina lebe emalungiselelo vele bekase copheleni setulu kakhulu tingijimi takithi because bese sirelaya kakhulu kumavuso kuphela kanti siyakhumbula ukuthi Somhlolo naye bekagijima tingijima so nakhona kutawuphela bese sekutake kule turf the artificial turf le akudlalwa khona imidlalo webhola lengicaba ukuthi nakhona njengoba simvile yena iMinister of Sports hulumende akhuluma ukuthi in 6 weeks ngendeka kube sekuphelile good news for our teams, more especially Royal Leopard nesihlangu semnikati. Remember ukuthi Fabrice isabezidlala ema-AFCON qualifiers neSomalia le coach nguye Dijong azange kadlala kule stadium lesi wathi mavuso yena so ngicaba ukuthi emaplans akhe abakhulumela adlala nje around mavuso ku natural grass but Somhlolo, in fact kaSomhlolo angisakhumbula kahle ukuthi sagcina nini as live kudliwa khona because that stadium bekungilapho khona sesiva sibe neDecember tinengileti into ke Fabrice njengoba usho ukuthi nendlu yebetindzaba ikhona lapha lengicabanga ukuthi for a very long time bamvu betindzaba ngakhuluma kule maviki laphelile ukuthi abasebenziseki kahle but na iMinister of Sport ibakhele igumbi labantu awusebenza khona sikhathile ukuthi nabo banakekeleke basebenze kahle but otherwise njengoba ngisho ukuthi Somhlolo National Stadium finally after almost 3 years kuluma 2 years if ukhuluma 2019 sik 2022 nyaka March sabe sithi 3 years Somhlolo solo kude avalo.
All right, I'm being told to move on, Mas, but one more question. I think the producer will accommodate this one is that I was talking to one of the Mbabane Highland supporters. Now this stadium, they have a specific area where they sit and they are amongst the supporters in the stadium. If possible with their performance, they keep on going and remain number one. Could one say they'll be crowned champions in that stadium? I mean, I'm trying to say some of the games maybe from March going to May, we might have them. Your Mbabane Derby or some of the biggest games, including the game we had earlier on, Young Buffaloes and Leopard. We could have them, the 10 games, we could have them in the same stadium if all goes according, weather conditions, if it does allow.
Ngicabanga Fabrice Somhlolo Stadium ku clear ka left ye Royal Box kuhlala yona iMbabane Highlanders ka right kuvamise kuhlala yona iManzini Wanderers nangabe ke kuthiwa kudlala iDerby kuphela iMbabane Swallows yahlala ka right noma ke ihlala emshiya lowa lengicaba ukuthi Fabrice the fans ngabukile emavuso azama kuda but inqumbi yawo vele besakamjwayelelo Somhlolo sosikhathile. Remember the last time iMbabane Highlanders iphose iwina ileague kumwase begcwala lesa stand ka left Royal Box. So ngicabanga ukuthi if Somhlolo abuya adlaliswa ema-league games onke lama fans atawubuya stadium Manzini Wanderers, Mbabane Highlanders, Mbabane Swallows, Morning Pirates, Denver Sundowns.
Supporters will be lucky and very happy to listen to what Dlamini just said. It will be another emphatic moment to see the stadium coming to its use. Otherwise, earlier on, another game that was played and game in hand for Royal Leopard. Now, moving on, after just less than 48 hours, I've only seen this, not even in Europe. I mean, you play Europa League on Thursday, and you're only allowed to play on Sunday. You cannot play on Saturday. They arrived in the country on Tuesday, but on Thursday they were playing their game. Coach Edwin Matsebula says he did not have to train them they were already motivated. Look at the degrees, look at the temperatures as our crew was headed in a stake earlier on. But on a sunny day, it was a beautiful performance. They showed what they are capable of doing. As a coach, you have that understanding as well. When you're coming from that huge, big picture, of playing continental and you come local, whoever you face, you still have that motivation to say the players can do. I think for me, Sabeza, just seeing him today, I've never seen him being that comfortable in front of the goalkeeper. It was just a different player. Of course, the likes of Junior Magagula, they were also doing their things. So much. But to you, Master, what do you take from this Real Leopard?
Fabrice, njoba soshilo ukuthi iReal Leopard ibuya kodlala wona umdlalo weCAF Confederations Cup lapho khona iqualify khona akuma group stages. Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi this was the right time ukuthi iReal Leopard idlale neYoung Buffaloes because they are motivated. Ba motivated kakhulu kufika ama group stages. But having said that, Fabrice, ukuthi ba motivated, I think the likes of Junior Makakula, look at that pass. We always talk about yena Junior Makakula ema passes lawa kokako lanika bona abadlali be Royal Leopard lungelo Thabetse ubenefitile kuye Junior Makakula. Lengicaba ukuthi njoba ngisho ukuthi umotivated, remember ukuthi Junior uthole the only goal le Royal Leopard away Chase Kapili namuhla uthola iassist. So ngicabanga ukuthi njoba ngisho ukuthi le team imotivate, look at
another assist. And this is not something you coach. This is not something you plan, Master. It's within the player. He knows where he needs to be. He knows where the player has to be. And look at the pass. And the defense had nothing to do.
And besides that, Fabrice, njoba usho ukuthi akusiko Tinvo lo coachako. This team now ukuthi Lungelo and Fanelo and Junior, they've been together for close to 5 years now. Solo badlala ndzawonye. So ngicaba ukuthi kuyakhombisa lokho ku understand ukuthi nangimpassela lo mdlali ngifaka i-true pass lebheka kuphi. But ngala ku Young Buffaloes now ukuthi the players bo Saviola ulitholele igoli elishayo the only goal layo Young Buffaloes they created so many chances. Fortunately for Royal Leopard, Mponyo bekasefomini yakhe ubasevile many saves lawendile naMponyo. So ngicaba ukuthi they were bebakhona ke balandzeli inqumbi bema teams lehlukahlukene bathe kubukela le game le. Yes, ngiyathi ukuthi le game lena inqumbi bayigatsile ukuthi ingabe kudlalwa kanjani, but otherwise good game from both teams, but le dlala ingcono na le create ama chances lamanengi kakhulu. Young Buffaloes, Mponyo was on fire today.
All right, look at this player. We talked about him. Do you think it's time for him, Master, would see he leaves the country and go play outside? Junior Makakula. Do you think he deserves to leave?
At times, you need your best players ukuze bato khuphula le league bayinde ibe ngcono.
What a chance.
Uyabadzinga abadlali abanjengabo Junior kuze le league itawukhula ibe ngile league electwa one of the best, because lalamanye sikhuluma ukuthi they are the best leagues because they have the best players. So if our best players akhona la khaya sibe silandzana labanye ngaphandle beautiful penalty.
There was confusion about that penalty. I was seated with some of the officials. I don't know if we can just take a look at that. But to many, they felt like maybe it wasn't really a penalty, but the ref had to call off at the game already. It was finished. But to many, they felt like it was not a penalty.
Fabrice, ngiwabucishe this season ngiwabukele ama games akhe Mbongisen Fakutsi.
Look at that.
That's a penalty.
Can we see that again?
That's a penalty.
Can we see that again, Master?
Fabrice, ngiwabukele cishe you remember le game ye Highlanders ne Solos lapho khona inqumbi.
Still there's no contact. Still there's no contact. Is there contact? Look, is there contact, Master? There's no contact.
Yo, umtriphile.
No,
No, umtriphile.
No, Master, there's no contact.
Umtriphile.
This is Master, this is VAR. Eswatini TV is VAR. There's no penalty, Master. There's no penalty.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what you're going to say in Partizan Money, but there's no penalty. This is also, I'm still standing to the fact that they do say, Master would say, sometimes to win you need to be lucky. They were lucky in this moment. This is not a penalty.
But umtsinzile Fabrice kuthi soft penalty. Okay. There's nothing like a soft penalty because any touch inside the box penalty. So that was a penalty. Njoba ngisho ukuthi inqumbi ama decisions ake yena Fakutsi Sibanze this season. Ngicabanga ukuthi uwathole
spot on.
So he deserves to be FIFA accredited referee lesinayo currently Eswatini, and ma games angaphandle wabambile, so ngicabanga ukuthi le experience yes unawo lama moments akhe but this season ngicabanga ukuthi ukhonile ukukulungisa lokho.
3 points against the armed forces rivals Leopard, so they are now 29 points, Master, and they still have a game in hand. Everyone has played 14 games except Leopard and Manzini Seabeds. They are 29 points. They normally say you can't count a game you haven't played, Master. The prize is 200,000 for the first round. Do they stand a chance? Can they put pressure on log leaders, Bafana Highlanders?
Last week ngathi advantage Bafana Highlanders because ipressure iku Royal Partnyalo angeke uze uthini endinyalo bawudlala neSeabeds. Fabrice ngiyayithi njalo nawuhlabile bocaphela inyongo ukuthi ingakonele inyama yakho because inyongo once wayithinza kancane konke kudla kwakho konakele. So ngicabanga ukuthi for iRoyal Leopard kudinga ukuthi baqaphele kakhulu, they need to score emagoli kuze bakhona ukuthi ba catch up nayo iBafana Highlanders. Nayo iSeabeds ngeke because this season bakhombisile ukuthi they play as a team, angeke uze bakhobose. So ngicabanga ukuthi kutaba igame lengeke izibe lula kakhulu for iRoyal Leopard, ngiyo lene pressure than iSeabeds kule game le, but advantage Bafana Highlanders because lokwentekayo noma ngayini if inakhuza iRoyal Leopard iwina ku Seabeds iyohlala ku 32 points, Bafana Highlanders ina 33. So kule game yabo labatabe bayidlala bona noma bangathola idraw batabe sebakhonile ukuthi bayithathe leyo first round carrot. So ngicabanga ukuthi njengoba ngisho ukuthi pressure Royal Leopard, advantage Bafana Highlanders.
Is it a mind game? Adrian Matsebura says they are not much into the first carrot. Ukumcuwa kuyibo kuthatha lenkomishi. But everyone wants that motivation. 200,000 would assist them going for CAF. I mean, it's not every day that you just get 200,000 for players like this.
For them Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi sebakubona last season bakubonile ukuthi I first round carrot noma engageja but ngilokhu ucetha kanjani. It's not how you start but ukuthi ucetha kanjani. For them bakhonele last season ukuthi bacethe le marathon basolo bangadzinwa bayiwina ileague. So this season nakasi nje coach as much as imali uyidzinga but yes, the first round carrot kuthi umuntu lokhumbula ukuthi ngibani lo wayiwina 4 years ago.
Master,
first round carrot.
Before maybe we just move on, what does this say about young Buffalo's defense? I mean, that easy penetration of Junior just releasing a ball to Sabes. What does that say about the defense, young Buffalo's defense? We know them at some point. They were one of the best in the land. Sitlang had to rely on the defense of young Buffaloes. What can we say to this defense?
Ngicabanga ukuthi inakhuza Fabrice they were clinical yona iRoyal Leopard kule game le bakhonela ukuthi babe clinical ngala young Buffaloes iwa create le ma chances but bangabe clinical njoba ngishilo ngathi Mbonyo beka top of beka on point but ngicabanga ukuthi kudinga ukuthi both teams kumele ukuthi idefense yabo bayilungise kakhulu because as ma big teams nangisho kanjalo awudzingi ukuthi emagoli kanje more especially ku derby kuthi utawushaya 3 wemagoli. I think kunengilolo ukuthenga ukuthi kulungiswe ku defense yayo young Buffaloes.
All right, they are now moving on. We're about to leave, but Master, they're going for CAF competitions. They are to play the likes of Pirates and everything. I know if situation was to allow them, Master, just to add players. I mean, they have lost the likes of Boingosi Manyov, just a good player. But do you think maybe there's a department get in terms of strength of players? If chances were to allow them to add players, what do you think they would add, Royal Leopards?
No buka Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi ku striking force banaye Berry banaye Thabiso then ngala ngemuva kulandzela bo the Tabetse twins.
Yes.
Ngicabanga ukuthi cishe lapho bagodi midfield bakhona bo Junior bakhona bo Zweli bakhona bo Sifiso Sifiso Mathe. So ngicabanga ukuthi nakhona la but ku defense njengoba ngishilo ngathi I young Buffaloes ithole ama chances lamane kakhulu. They need to fix defense abengekho machawe namuhla and bobona leto tikhala kancane. So if they can get one defender at least utawukhona ukuthi amatche nangabe machawe angekho akhona ukuthi asivale leso sikhala leso. Otherwise goalkeeping department they are very good. Kuna Mbonyo kuna Pepisane. So ngicabanga ukuthi lapho ba good bo goalkeeper labo be national team, so lapho ba covered.
All right, there you have it. Thank you very much, Dlamini, for being with us. And hopefully for the weekend, you're going to watch the game against Seabeds. Give us more analysis on Monday and on Thursday just to know where the league is standing.
Ngibonga mina Fabrice, ngibonga wena Malwelo yasekhaya.
They have it. That's what we had cooked for you this evening. Otherwise, the remaining 30 minutes, we just give you what was taking place, what unfolded week 14 of the M10 Premier League. The likes of, Babane Highlanders coming back to winning ways. Of course, one of the biggest game over the weekend was the Babane Swallows against Manzini Wanderers. They had to win 1-0 against Wanderers. 3 points was what was at stake for the two giants. For the remaining 30 minutes, just to give you a hint, what you missed in the M10 Premier League, day 14. Until we meet again, Silvera Gamnans.
We start the show by congratulating Singiziye Zulu Hotspurs for clinching the First Division halfway carrot, walking away with 50,000 emalangeni, as they top the First Division league with a 9-point gap. Singiziye Zulu's hard-fought victory came through the boot of Spamandla Dludlu, who converted a rebound after a penalty kick hit the woodwork. Match 14 of the Premier League saw 19 goals being scored, with Buffaloes continuing to score big. Tambuti registering their first win of the season against fellow strugglers Malandi, while the Manzini derby registered 4 goals with Sundowns coming up top. Rangers FC hosted fellow struggling Dinyosi FC in a match that could see one of them move away from the relegation zone. Both teams having lost in their previous match-up, both teams had an opportunity to collect maximum points. The first opportunity of the half fell on Lindelwa Dlamini, whose strike was saved by keeper Pila Mapa. Dinyosi showed intent with a good play on the other half. It was Rangers' quick play and build-up from the back that resulted in the opener, in which Majaham Sibi converted through a deflected ball by defender Bellamino. Rangers FC started the second half on fire, with Majaham Sibi creating an opportunity through a cross that could not be converted. Minutes after, they were back as Sibonelo Mhlanga threaded through a killer pass, finding Lindelwa Dlamini, who made no mistake and gave the host a 2-0 lead. Dinyosi had their own opportunities via the left boot of their captain Phucuko Dlamini, who fired wide. Troublesome Lindelwa Dlamini was a handful down the right flank, creating another scoring opportunity that fell to Sibonelo Mhlanga, but keeper Pilamamba denied Rangers the third. Still searching for the first goal, substitute Melusi Mkhwanazi's header was saved by Mduduzi Mgomedulu. Dinyosi kept knocking for a goal as Bellamino's effort from the left is cleared at the near post. There was clearly no goal for Dinyosi as Ncedisi Dlamini's effort was brilliantly tipped over by the bar by Mduduzi Mgomezulu, and that was the last opportunity of the game. 2-0 for Rangers and 3 points to leapfrog Dinyosi on the league table.
We played perhaps one of our worst games this season. The boys were just not on. I think it was complacence. They thought it was going to be easy, and then they were surprised.
Yeah, we are in a bad position in the log.
Very, very bad. And it is games like this that we should be making maximum use of and get points. But yeah, we just have to go back and work on, especially on the psychology of the boys, because I think complacence killed us today.
No, yathi game ihambe kahle. Sikhonile lokuthi lebe sekulungisa kuleli viki ngoba silungisa ukuthi how can we attack. Ukuthi si overload i-attack yethu ibe numerical above i-defense letinyosi. Because itinyosi team lesibukele sayithola lokuthi i-defense yayo akusiyo le quick enough slowly. So that we have to add more numbers and we have to add some pace. And we scored those goals and we missed some goals.
Log leaders Mbabane Highlanders continued with their rich form as they grabbed their third win in a row against Milan Hotspurs. A win in this game sends them closer to grabbing their first round carrot. Highlanders started their game with an early scare as trusted player Sabelo Sawa Kametse had a knock and had to be treated outside. Sawa returned to create their first opportunity for Ingunzi. Looking for his 15th goal of the season, Sabelos Kalinzinisa's header flies across the face of goal. Sikali was at it again, receiving a brilliant long pass by Ndumiso Ndaba, but the talisman wasted the opportunity. And that was the last opportunity of the half, with Bull leading 1-0 as Celumusa Sipepo sends the teams to the dressing room. Milan started the second half mounting pressure on the Bull. Whatever coach Sfiso Mawelela said in the dressing room seemed to work, as Bongomenzi Dlamini fires a rocket that keeper Kanyagwezwe tipped over the bar. Highlanders' real second half opportunity was a result of a good combination between Sabelo Nzinisa and Tony Machacha, in which the Ben 10 duly converted, slotting the ball under the advancing Sfiso Masego on goal. Milan did not let rest their morals as they searched for a goal, as Mangaliso Nkambule fluffed the goal opportunity for Milan to at least register a goal. The Bulls started to enjoy their ball possession on the Milan side. Inside. Man of the match Banele Stiganzabanzaba's tame shot whiskers past the goal post. The midfield maestro could have sealed the game for Ingunzi, but his header was way off the mark. The last opportunity of the match fell on Hotspurs, but the forwards couldn't convert. Celumusa Sipepo blows the final whistle to give Bulls a 7-point lead, meaning they have one hand on the first round incentive of 200,000 emalangeni.
So far so good. 3 games, 9 points. I think that was a target. We are on 33 points. We have to go again. Like I always say to the players, every week is a new challenge. We have to go again, prepare, and wait for a new challenge. The new challenge will come very soon against the Royal Leopards, of which they're playing. I know they're playing away, and good luck to them. I wish them good luck, and then they can progress to the next round.
Igame plan yakho ngathi sechebo vele asayine ukuthi aqale ukusikhale kusho igame.
Ngicabanga ukuthi kube sivumele isikhathi ukuthi adlale ngale ndlela ajwayele ukudlala ngayo ngicabanga abe maningi kakhulu amagoli ukuthi sivalele ngicabanga ngoloko into sakhona khona nathi phefumula futhi ngicabanga vele besimthumele ukuthi amana azame ukumclose siyabonga.
It was the battle of the city rivals as Moneni Pirates plays against Denver Sundowns. This affair between the two is always a cracker as goals are guaranteed in their matchup. Emma Bagabaga were looking to end their poor round of form against a hot and cold Denver Sundowns under Zimbabwean coach Masocha Ikabot. Pirates were first on the starting blocks as they were denied a penalty on their first opportunity. A clear foul by Mohamed Kabia on Mpumuzo Sangweni, but the referee waved play on. Pirates were at it again, tearing Denver's defense apart, and this time got awarded a penalty. Xolani Ngwenya stepped up to send the Buccaneers 1-0 up. The left footer coolly converted the spot kick. Sundowns searched for the equalizer as Mancoba Spider Masego's header hit the woodwork. It was an end-to-end affair with the Congolese Mike Dombo being a menace as Sundowns searched for an equalizer. What an entertaining half between the two city rivals, with Pirates going on the break 1-0 up. The second half started just like the first, with Sifiso Masego whipping in a cross that Nkosi Natishongwe handled in the box, and the referee awarded a spot kick to Sundowns. A clear handball that was. Congolese Mike Dombo stepped up to convert the penalty. Immediately after, Mbongeni Makakula orchestrated a swift move for the Buccaneers, in which he eventually fired straight to the hands of Bernard Aigwe. Definitely the game of the weekend with its end-to-end entertainment. Talking about dusting yourself up from the ground, Mike Dombo did just that to finish off a well-orchestrated move by the team in yellow. Looking for the third, Spamandla Masego's through ball to the man of the match Mike Dombo resulted in Captain Lwazi Shumi Mamba receiving his marching orders. Just 3 minutes before time, the ever-present Spamandla Masego combined with Langelihle Dlamini for substitute Seri Isa to slot home Sundowns third to seal all 3 points, and a derby win for Cabo Yellow. Let's see that again. Referee Thokozani Dlamini ends a thrilling encounter.
Had so many mistakes, especially defensive. But in this sport, you know, you lose and win as a team. cannot then blame my defense of making those mistakes. I think as a team we made some mistakes, more especially in the second half. But it's not a trend match. I think it's just correctable. We just need to go back to the dressing room and correct it. And it's one disappointing result that I cannot understand. I'm still going to go with the players and try to see what can happen. Because we thought first half we were having the game under control. Then second half I think we lost it. I think we lost it in the penalty. And that is the disadvantage of playing young boys. When such mistakes happen, they affect them for the whole game. But we are still a good team. We're still a good team. We come back a better team next game. But credit to Sunrise. I think they noted our weaknesses and they exploited our weaknesses today. But we'll correct it. We'll be okay. Thank you so much.
These are the very important 3 points for us. You know, we are in relegation zone, and every game that you play, you would expect to get something. But with where we are now, the log doesn't lie. We have not been doing good things, so it's a huge relief for us to get the 3 points, especially from a team like Mountain Pirates. It was a fantastic result, I'm telling you.
Coach, is this how you want your team to play? The comebacks, the change of gears?
Not really. I would expect us to get control of the game from start to finish. But, you know, every game is a different game. Sometimes you start, you know, the first half very well, and then second half you run out of steam, and it does happen. But in this case, it was a case of maybe two halves. The first half, it wasn't like the best for us. But second half, after the introduction of those new changes that we did, it was a fantastic performance from the boys. That one, I'm not like, I can't dismiss that one to say they can get carried away. But like you're saying, it's entirely up to us, the leadership, to make sure they are all grounded, they are down to earth and continue to... The 3 points doesn't take us from relegation. We are still in there. But we need another 3 points, another 3 points, another 3 points until we get to maybe 40 points. Then we can allow them to get carried away.
A gloomy Sunday afternoon, the King Sopuza Stadium hosted the two giants of local football. Veteran defender Mandla Palmer having to face his former team that he served for over 10 seasons. Manzini Wanderers on-form lanky goalkeeper was hoping for a clean sheet on the given day. With assistant coach Terry Sai Changari still looking for his first win as an assistant coach. Babane Swallows were looking to make it 2 wins in a row after grabbing 3 points against Dinyosi the previous weekend. Trusted forward Felix Badenhorst started this game on the bench. Straight from kick-off, Babane Swallows almost took the lead with a dangerous ball by Nhlanhla Ngwenya as Wanderers goalkeeper Bongiswa Dlamini saved the resultant threat. Just 5 minutes into the half, Captain Tony Tabetse played an exquisite pass to Sizolwethu Nunu Shabalala, whose shot is unfortunately deflected by Mandla Palmer to hand Swallows the lead and to the jubilant fans. Swallows kept looking for a second as Captain Tony Tabetse fired over the post. Tony and Sizolwetu were at it again on the right flank, with Nunu firing a shot that was saved by Bongiswa Dlamini. It was almost a one-sided first half with Bongiswa Dlamini, the Wanderers goalkeeper, doing the most to keep the Wesleyans in the game. It was the same story in the second half, with Swallows looking to extend the lead. Tony Tabet's shot outside the area is dealt with by Bongiswa. It was clearly Mbabane Swallows versus Bongiswa affair, as the keeper made countless saves. Manzini Wanderers had a sniff at goal to the left boot of Fabrice Mopina. Former Mbabane Highlanders left back Vukile Khumalo's long-range effort was parried over by the bar by man of the match Bongiswa. The last opportunity of the match fell on Guluve James, but nothing got past the man of the match, Wanderers goalkeeper Bongiswa Dlamini. And that is how match 14 ended, with Mbabane Swallows taking all 3 points in Hlangano to move 5th in the log. Vovovo squanders a 2-0 lead against Tabangulu Kellys. Bulls in 7 heaven as they remain top of the log, with Leopard going through to the CAF Confederation Group stages. They have 2 games in hand to catch up with the rest of the pack. Young Buffaloes move to 3rd on the log standings. Bottom half of the table sees Rangers move away from the relegation zone with 14 points, while Tambuti register their first win of the season.
Kudla kwempilo, food for life. An agricultural program that shows how a farmer brings food to the nation.
Gcine kudla kwayo leta uphindze kudle nasekufika isikhathi sebusika. Nalinile nje libele lana kuzone liyadwa imbela libele lahlanzeni. So lonke linale mvula le moderate yethu sine lahlanzeni. Kudla kusemhlabathini, konke lesikudingako sitakuthola emhlabathini.
Kudla kwempilo for agriculture and farming development on Eswatini TV with the farm boy Samgelo Villarati Samvi. Kudla kwempilo, food for life.
Usafaka na 20 rand.
Kutemne thumane athi
Lokugifted yiko kusebenzisa utakhonza uphilo ubeke singwa etafuleni.
Ngina sengimelele umngane wami bese sihamba sophanda.
Shemu ngichasha maye mahle ebonile.
Ngafuna ukuthi le project ingawa ngikhona nami ngoba angisiwumuntu lothanza ukuthi into ingafa ngikhona. Kule life lesiyakiyo umuntu ngangemuntu kuyafuna at least abe nawo 3 ma skills in life. kakhulu ngoba so ngatsala kusebenza lo msebenzi abadinga ngikusupport labantu.
And welcome to the She Word, the show where we discuss trending topics among women across Africa. On the show today we have Shaima Mohammed from Somalia. Shaima is the founder of Golden Girls Sports Center in Mogadishu, which is giving young girls passionate about football a chance to play the game.
Say to him, it means hello, and you respond back, Fian.
Fian. We also have Sarah Chan from South Sudan, a coach, philanthropist, women's rights activist, and a multiple MVP winning professional basketball player.
Ekedi.
Uh-huh.
And you reply, Achin Karach.
Achin Karach.
Yes, that's Dinka from South Sudan.
Oh, wow.
I know you won't remember.
From Kenya, we have Cynthia Mumbo, a former basketballer, founder and CEO of Sports Connect Africa, a sports consultancy that focuses on connecting and empowering sports stakeholders in Africa. Cynthia.
I'm also Uduto in the right language.
Yeah. So what do we say to that?
Wadi Maber.
Ah, Wadi Maber. Yes. And I am Celestine Karone, a sports journalist with BBC Africa. Karibu to the show. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
How many of you have been watching the Women's World Cup in France?
I have.
Definitely me. You haven't?
I haven't.
I've been watching. You're a football girl.
On and off, yes, I have. More because of the money story.
Well, that's very interesting. Some of the girls playing there are South Africa's Thembi Kgatlana, Nigeria's Asisat Oshola, and Cameroonian Gail Enganamoit. These names may not mean much to many sporting fans in Africa, yet they are the three recent winners of the Africa Women's Footballer of the Year. Now, if I mentioned Mohamed Salah of Egypt, Algeria's Riyad Mahrez, and Gabon's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, they wouldn't need any introduction, and not just in Africa, but globally. Despite being top players for club and country, the ladies Thembi, Asisat and Gail are not as popular as the men. This week we focus on women in sport and begin with a look at how African teams performed at the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup.
The Women's World Cup is a chance for countries to show off the many talents that they have to offer. Many African football fans have been left asking, when will the continent's three representatives be able to fulfill their true potential and be able to compete at the same level with the world's best? For Cameroon, this is their second appearance at the World Cup. Much has been made about their lack of preparation time. Their FA president believes good planning is key.
The day African countries will have the possibility to have their own a very good organization of the women football in terms of competitions, in terms of education of the coaches, all these things, which is the basement of the development of football in general, but focalize on women football. I think that at that moment we can compete with the European countries.
And what about debutantes South Africa? Banyana have had good preparations coming into the competition, but losing all three of their opening group matches have seen them exit the tournament. Their coach Desiree Ellis is calling for more playing time.
If there could be competitions in between to consistently keep teams active, then that will help a lot.
Nigeria, the most successful African team, have been unable to replicate their success in Africa onto the global stage. Their Swedish coach previously enjoyed success with his country finishing third.
We need to have a plan, even if there is no championship next year. We have to start working with younger players and so on, so have good camps for them, because there are so many talented players in Africa. Wow.
Oh, wow, amazing.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation.
For women in Africa, we don't have access to proper fields or equipment.
And that's the thing though, you know, like these federations have the same, it's not like they woke up one day and they're now handling women's football. They've been handling men's football.
I believe, you know, for Africa to change, we have to change our mentality around what women's sport really stands
for. And it's in every sport, right? Not just football, right?
To begin with, culture also plays a hand in it. You know, girls are expected to be at home and not on the court or not on the pitch. And so when you're there, it's not, you should just be, you know, glad that you're actually even there.
Yeah, not only culture, but I guess when we check at the senior positions, and there is only male dominated. We have male leaders, we don't have female leaders, so we lack priorities women given in such high positions.
And so you end up finding so many women who have had to come into playing sport, having to hide it from their parents.
My story. I had to, I didn't do the hiding. My mom had to actually hide my kid. Right. But you know what, I came back and I was wearing someone else's kit. The kind of resilience that women have in Africa.
Did you get in trouble though?
Which African child doesn't? You're disrespecting your folks. I was whacked. Okay, I know, Mama. Don't watch this. I love you. No, but and I don't really blame our parents. It's the culture. It's what they grew up with. It's a lack of understanding, and also just the environment, because you don't know where your girl is going. You know, you don't know what they're going to be able to access. You don't know what kind of people they're going to be out there.
My mom actually didn't want me to play basketball, because one time I got my tooth knocked out and I came home and she said, you're never going back to that game. It is going to end your life, basically. But my dad, you know, African moms, oh my gosh, you need to, So my dad was actually very supportive, and he was the one that always told me, don't show any weakness. And I'm like, okay, Dad. You know, and I kept going, which is usually not the norm in our society. But back in South Sudan, a lot of women face stigma because they play sports. There's actually a myth that if a woman plays sports, you lose your virginity. And
Wow.
Really. So it's so many women that are afraid to be, you know, be seen in that perspective, because in our culture, the African culture, marriage and purity is priority.
I remember there is a time when I was young, I used to play football, and then my mom, she found me wearing trousers, and it was kind of huge scene that I made. I was beaten black and blue. And I was told that you're a guy playing soccer, why are you playing with guys? You know, discrimination usually starts from the family. And then, when you look at the religion allows women to play, to participate in sports activities, while in a private place that they can feel comfortable in confidence without men watching.
Culture definitely has a role to play, you know, in how girls are treated in sports. So it is what it is, but we keep going on. While growing up, girls often engage in sport, but in Africa, we find that the passion to turn that into a career tends to fizzle out. Could it be that there's not enough effort towards empowering girls at the grassroots when they get into sport? Jean Seninde, a Ugandan professional football player, is hoping that she can make a difference and get more girls into sport using a social approach. Here is her story.
Things that I've achieved right now, both on the field and off the field, I feel like I wouldn't have achieved anything if it wasn't for football.
I inspired her and said, Jean, there is something about you in football. You are gifted. Forget about the fact that you're a woman. You can still take this at another level. And I could see that when she was playing football, even her character was built. The total person was built.
I'm Jean Seninde. I'm a defender for the Uganda women's national team. I've always just had a passion to see women's football go to a different level. But we wanted to base all our activities in a community setting, and that's when I thought we could do it with the Seninde Foundation, which we also started a tournament for the young girls. So we started the Seninde Women's Development Cup tournament.
I had no team, no one knew me. I was behind, I was almost giving up on football. But then this tournament, the Jean Seninde Development Cup came out, and then we came together as a team and became confident again.
Seeing Achirinda Sarah playing that tournament for the first time, she was spotted by Gema University and she was taken on to start her university then. It showed us that we are doing the right thing.
Jean Seninde is creating a lot of awareness. Parents are being aware that football is not just for boys, and that football doesn't just stop like at high school level, because when many girls like finish high school, they tend to stop there because they have no one to push them. But here I am at the university, I'm continuing.
Academics and sports can run in tandem to build a total person.
Powerful. She said that she has a similar story like mine. It's just the way I empowered girls through sports. I was looking for a team to play with when I went back to Somalia, but then I had to create a team so that they could represent Somalia.
I had to find where there was some sort of basketball, and I realized that as I had, I was good, I had done enough. What more could I have done for the younger generation? And I started Vikapu Elite Basketball to support, both boys and girls. And it really is our story.
I went back to South Sudan, and, not too many people encourage the girls to go and play, but there are a few that are kind of interested, and it just led me to register a national organization where we could just have boys and girls come out and find a place because of my belief in sports unlocking human potential.
For many African ladies and many African girls, it is all about opportunity.
Right.
Yep. Where with the boys you look everywhere and there's a foundation, there's an academy, there's this that is pushing them to say, okay, look, you can do you can be a professional player. But for women, you get, like she said, you get to high school and
that's it.
That is it.
Parents think like sports is just something to play, to run around. They don't understand the importance. Like sports is a way to educate the girls. Sports a way to prevent gender-based violence.
Do you guys think that maybe parents also think, okay, women's sport is not that developed, so what would they earn?
Or where would
they earn? Where will it take you? The money. This is a fun fact. Lionel Messi earns $84 million, But if you compare that to 1,693 female footballers, combined their earnings, it is $42.6 million US dollars.
Right.
I mean, like
1,600?
Yes, 1,693 women from 7 of the world's top leagues, not just like any league.
Right.
And they earn 42.6 million combined US dollars. Lionel Messi is at 84 million US dollars.
So you put,
honestly, you put that into perspective, and women will tell you, then why should I be in sport? I mean, Sarah, did it ever occur to you that the pay gap would just be one of the reasons you'd be like, you know what, why bother?
When we tackle this issue of pay disparity, we have to be objective because we also have ourselves to blame. If we look at a business, compensation or player compensation is correlated with the consumers, what they value. And if you're not bringing that to the table, then it kind of takes the appeal away, and then the money doesn't come in. If you look at the in-game viewers, how many people are attending the women games? If you look at TV viewership, how many people are actually watching the game so that the ratings go up?
The beauty of culture is that it can be changed. And culture changes by challenging the status quo. You have to challenge the status quo, and that's what we're doing now. We're saying women are playing, let the women be paid the same as the men. They run the same distances.
The problem mainly lies in